And we are back. We're back in that Lancaster groove.
Is that what we're going to call it?
You know, I had this, like that song, and I actually thought, I thought the song was back in a New York mood.
Oh, yeah.
Back in a New York groove, like grooves in a record, right? So I'm talking to this guy about it. He's like, I don't know what song this is.
Never heard it before.
He's the music guy. He says, what was your major in college?
Music education.
Music education, but not
popular music education.
Mid-70s disco pop.
No, that's not my forte.
So anyway, hey, Lancaster Connects is back in that podcast groove, here to bring you, season 2.
Season 2.
The relaunch, Phoenix Rising. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
The sequel.
We're here. Your 2 Lancaster local guys podcasting, not about mattresses, but in their mattress store. Go figure.
There's a big update to this episode and future episodes.
It is. Like, we're live.
We're live.
Action.
Out there.
Lights, camera, the whole thing. We are under action. So
that means you can chat with us, though, right?
That's right. Oh, yes. Yeah, we're going to work through this, as we promised in prior episodes. We're mattress guys first, not podcasters. We're adding a whole new layer with the live action. So, yes, you can absolutely chat with us, put comments in. We will see those come in. We've got production in the background helping us out. So, absolutely, please let us know what you think of the show. Yeah. We've got an exciting guest coming on to kind of launch season 2, I guess you could say. So I am Jeff Giannakovo, co-owner of Gardener's Mattress and More, and I guess, co-something of Lancaster Connects.
Yeah.
Co-video cloud.
We'll talk about the Dream Room in a little bit, but yeah, we were in the Dream Room before, and now we have the live backdrop of Gardener's Mattress and More. I think some customers just walked in over our right-hand shoulder, so we're kind of, whatever happens.
Ben, what the real question, Lancaster, is, so Ben, what was your first weekend like without gluten?
Yeah, for those that don't know, gluten is wheat. And I have a gluten allergy in my esophagus. It's a weird thing. Causes my esophagus to swell, and I can't swallow as easily. So basically this entire year, we've talked about it on the podcast numerous times, I've been under elimination diets, eliminating gluten, eliminating dairy, and we finally determined gluten is the culprit. So I have eliminated all wheat products from my diet as of Thursday morning.
Last week.
My last supper, if you will, maybe it'll make its way onto the screen. There it is. Oh, in all of its beautiful glory. That is, ladies and gentlemen, is a sugar bowl stromboli.
Which Ben introduced me to years ago.
Yeah. So in 1996, I went broke on these strombolis. They were $5 in 1996, $6. You give the guy $1 tip. Poor college guy. But I lived off of Sugar Bowl strombolis. Sugar Bowl has 2 locations, one downtown, one in Millersville. They both make the same thing, but those strombolis, of course, mine is on the right-hand side. That has cheese steak, sauce and onions. That's the only way to order it. There's other kinds, but cheesesteak, sauce and onions is the way to go. My wife got some green stuff and a mushroom in there. But that was my last meal with wheat. I have no more. So I'm glad it's gluten and not dairy, because I think I would have cried if it was ice cream and cheese. There's no substitute for cheese.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I've come to peace with my new lot in life, and we're moving forward full steam ahead.
That's right.
Gluten free.
I feel bad for him.
I like my bowlies,
because I've got to tell you, man, Sugar Bowl Bowlie Day here was like living.
We never did that. My wife's watching.
Yeah. She's fixing to find out. Anyway, so as a good business partner, I've often joked to people, like, I could actually get divorced a lot easier than it would be to leave this thing. But anyway, in support of my business partner, I had a salad for lunch.
You did?
I did. Look, I can lose a couple pounds. But in solidarity, I had a nice salad. Well, so this weekend I was at my campsite, which, when you see what my campsite is, Like, this is not really camping.
Yeah, that's not camping.
This is moving your living room and not studio, but like home theater outside. And
you've got a deck.
I've built this deck.
It's almost like a stage.
It is. It's tiered. So when friends come over next weekend, everybody's comfy. We can watch some great football. The only thing keeping me honest with the word camping at this point is the bugs and the snakes, the occasional snake that might come through. That's it. It's full-on glamping. I'm happy to own it. In the front of that camper is the master bedroom. I've got a very nice mattress in the front of that. And, I own it. It's great. Cook station there is behind the flag. We have some great food. But this is what I did this weekend. I glamped.
That's the way.
I glamped in my glory.
That's the way to go. So yes. It looks great. I see you got the dog pen over there.
Yep. We have room for the dogs. We've got room for the people, and copious amounts of bugs. But anyway, so we're live. We're going to bring our guest on here momentarily, but you can be catching this live broadcast of Lancaster Connects on our Lancaster Connects Facebook page. You might be watching there, on our Gardeners Facebook page, on Ben's Facebook page, soon to be mine. There's apparently some setting where Zuckerberg and me aren't getting along. I don't know. And then you can watch us on YouTube if you're into YouTube watching, on both the Lancaster Connects page and the Gardeners page, and I guess my YouTube channel as well. So we're a lot of places, but most important, we're live, and I think that brings a fun dynamic to the show. So without too much further ado, I want to introduce our guest. We are very happy to have as our first guest on this go-around, Dawn Tluczek from Bethany Christian Services. So Dawn, welcome to the show.
Thank you. And I'm so impressed that you said my name right.
Well,
he was sweating.
I wrote it down.
He was practicing.
I mean, listen, 42 years with Janakova. I mean, it's like you learn the phonetics, and there we go.
You did great.
So, Dawn, we're going to do a quick intro. So why don't you share with our watchers your role and the broader mission of what Bethany looks to accomplish, and then we'll bring you back on after a couple promotional things.
Okay. So I am the Church and Donor Liaison for Bethany Christian Services. We are a global nonprofit dedicated to changing the world through family. And we go to the ends of the earth to ensure families are connected, they are healthy, and they are together.
Well, very good. I'm a big believer that if you have a strong family unit at home, that solves a lot of things.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk more about what you do here momentarily.
Great.
But real quick, I'm going to bring you a tip from our Sleep Better book. So according to data and statistics from the CDC, adults who were short sleepers less than 7 hours per 24-hour period were more likely to report 10 chronic health conditions compared to those who got enough sleep. So this is at least 7 hours or more in a 24-hour period. Those 10 chronic health conditions are heart attack, coronary heart disease, stroke, asthma, COPD, cancer, arthritis, depression, chronic kidney disease, diabetes. So those are the 10. Getting proper sleep is great. There's something that goes on in our society where people seem to pride themselves on getting 4 hours of sleep or less, like less than 7 hours, as little as 4 hours of sleep. That is just not really all that healthy for you. So anything you can do to improve your sleep and focus on the amount of sleep you get can really impact your life in a number of ways. And each week we'll continue to focus on some of those sleep tips. You can get a copy of the Sleep Better book right there on the screen. Go to gardenersmattressmore.com/sleep-better, and we'll mail you out a physical hard copy in the mail, because I believe that gives you more value, more actionable steps, and we'll send you that copy for free. Just go to the website and ask for it.
So we were in the Dream Room when we recorded our podcast before. The Dream Room has been an institution in Lancaster County for 10 plus years now. It's right here in Gardener's Mattress and More. Right behind Jeff, you see a brick wall, and there's a white door. along that brick wall. And behind that is the Dream Room. It's unique to Gardner's Mattress & More. It is a private mattress testing room. And it's available to our customers who want a little extra time with the mattress that they're interested in. So somebody will narrow their choices down to one or two. We'll make a reservation with them, bring them back into the showroom. And it's literally their room to use the mattress. They can bring their pajamas, their own pillow. We have sanitizing washer and dryer in there. So we have sheets and linens. It really feels like a nice high-end hotel room with, $600 worth of lamps in there.
Nice accompaniments and decorative appointments.
That's right. There you go. So basically answers that question, how do I know I'm going to love it when I get home? Dream Room. We have a lot of customers using it, and it's a unique experience offered here at Gardner's. So much so that we get customers writing handwritten testimonials. Anyway, this person said about the Dream Room, about our process. They made us feel comfortable with getting a bed and testing it out. They loved, in big caps, loved the Dream Room. That made a huge factor in our decision to go ahead and feel good about the purchase. So that's the power of the Dream Room. Again, it answers that question, how do I know I'm going to love it when I get it home? So just one of the many unique things we do here at Gardner's Mattress & More.
I feel like if customers were to come in today, they would look at you or maybe me and see and think, was that your son on the Dream Room video? I mean, because boy, your son looks an awful lot like you. I mean, that's kind of the way those things work. I think you're right. We do need to update
the photos.
Update the photos just a little bit. That's all right. That's how the journey goes.
Dawn, guests are not supposed to laugh at us.
I'm sorry. It's funny because the picture that you guys have on the promo, I love that picture. I mean, it's like, as a woman, it's like my hair looked great, my makeup looked great, everything looked great. And then I'm looking at myself now and I'm thinking, oh my God, I look so old. Because, the picture is just, that was when I was working for the Barnstormers and I was like feeling alive and I was just and I feel alive now too, but in like a more mature way, I guess. I'm like dating myself, but so I hear you about the picture.
Yeah. Well, Dawn, I think your picture is far more connective to you on screen with us today than it is with us. But at any rate, well, listen, let's get into it. So Bethany Christian Services. Mm-hmm. So you said you were with the Barnstormers.
I was.
How did you? Were you with the Barnstormers prior to coming to Bethany?
Actually, I was with Family Chiropractic of Lancaster, and I still work with them part-time. With COVID, I got laid off. My husband and I actually got laid off the exact same day. I got laid off at lunch. He got laid off after work. So, you sort of regroup, and we spent COVID. I would love to say that I was very productive during COVID and I learned Italian or taught my kids Spanish. But the reality of it is we worked really hard on our house and spent a lot of time as a family unit. My son came home from college. I have a wonderful 20-year-old young man who's watching, I believe, right now, and up at school with his frat and at East Stroudsburg. So he came home, and then I have a stepdaughter who is a Bethany kid. So I had a personal relationship with Bethany, and just spent 6 months working on our landscape, working on our home, doing projects, just being a family unit, making dinner together, eating together every night, just really focused on family. And it was, I was sort of like a newlywed too. I had just been married in May of 2019. So that was, kind of weird to spend your first year with your entire family at the house. But just kind of took a step back and was really evaluating, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? My husband and I started our own business, just doing some things. And one thing kind of led to another. He went out to work in September. I stayed working for Family Chiropractic part-time. And then I saw this opening. It was in March or in February, I guess. And I interviewed in March, started in April as a consultant for them. and then came on full time in May. So I've been very, very busy with events. That's sort of my forte. I've done a lot of events through my career, and so we do a lot of events here. And then I work with churches, and when I was with the Barnstormers, I actually was the director of Faith on the Field. So I'm very accustomed to working with the churches. I grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor, so I've grown up in that environment. So it's a really good. It was a really good position for me to come into. I feel really connected and convicted in the mission and what we're doing.
How long has Bethany Christian Services been operating in Lancaster?
In Lancaster, we've been here since 1984. We actually are Central PA. I think I may have said this too. We cover 37 counties in the whole state. Bethany as a whole has been around for 75 years.
You touched on something. I'll take a step back. You said in the title, the theme of our show, family changes everything. Mm. I'm not sure that I'm going to accept you didn't do a whole lot in COVID, because it sounds to me like you kind of, everybody had the pause button put on their life. That's for sure. But it sounds to me like you came together as a family, did a lot of projects as a family. And, the one thing that I took away from that lockdown time, especially like late March, early April, mid-April, was, it was really nice to have all those family meals together again. And I think that's one thing we could all take away. And maybe now people at home watching, you're kind of like nodding along, like, that was nice. We did come together. So if not for anything, we're going to share more about what Dawn does at Bethany Christian Services. But, get back to that feeling, plan those meals out, because it really, it does change your family dynamic. And I think it's so important. And no matter what your family makeup is, okay, if that's just you and close friends, so be it. Break bread together. Mm-hmm. I think we need more of that connection, human connection. So that's my 2 cents there. Ben's got the list of questions. So I've got the list. That's my 2 cents.
So let me just say, I agree completely. I grew up, I'm an only child. My father was a pastor that did not go to seminary until I was 11, completely ruined my teenage years. And I was the typical pastor's kid. I was in trouble a bit, but we always ate dinner together. And so, I am very convicted in the fact that as a family, you have to, like you said, break bread together. And that's your opportunity to sit and just chat about what you experienced during the day, how's school, what's going on. I have a stepdaughter that we have dinner with every single night when she's with us. We have her every other week. And then when my son comes home, that's the thing, we all sit at the table, and sometimes that lasts a while. He was home just recently for several days, and there were some nights that we didn't leave the table for like 2.5 hours, and just sitting there having a drink and just chatting and thinking about the future, and just sort of mapping out things that we want to do, our bucket lists and things like that. So I feel, very, very much like I agree with what you're saying about family eating together and doing things like that. It's hard when you're the one making all the meals. But at the same time, I feel like you show I show my love by how I'm cooking. And when they leave the table and they're full.
We're, the direction of our show going forward, just to kind of catch viewers up, if you will. We're really looking to talk about local businesses, local charities, kind of like that battle on Main Street, big versus small. That's who Gardeners is. When you reached out, I said, what, I think this could be a really great guest to kind of launch season 2, if you will. So Bethany is part of really a global organization. Operating in many countries. I believe you're in about 30 or so states here in the U.S. But locally, not only are you local here, but you're also operating 37 counties, was it? So kind of bring back like the local connection here. What's happening locally here in Lancaster that Bethany's bringing to the table?
Well, locally, we, like you said, we're in 30 states and a dozen countries. We serve about 500,000 people every year. Just in the state of Pennsylvania, though, there is approximately 13 to 15,000 kids in foster care. So, we are, my division of Central Pennsylvania is very active with foster care, adoption. Right now, we've got a lot of kids coming through our refugee resettlement. We work with a lot of unaccompanied minors that come to the border without anybody with them, or with a little note that says, I need to find my Uncle Jeff in Lancaster, and we help you find them. So we, in the state of Pennsylvania, we are extremely active. But like you said, we're in 30 states. So we're doing all that all over the place.
How is Bethany different than other similar services?
Well, I think that it's okay to be like others. We all want to bring families together. We all want to help kids. We all want to help do everything. I mean, we have that faith piece. We feel very convicted with our faith. Our faith motivates us. I don't know that I guess I'm not saying probably the right thing. If I was here longer, I could say to you, well, this is the difference. This is the difference. I mean, I know for me personally, Bethany is an amazing organization. I have a Bethany kid. I feel like the programs that they offer, whether it is counseling with pregnancy, or it is counseling after a child is adopted or in the foster program. I mean, whatever a child needs, we're there for. We have like a room in our office here in Lancaster. I'm stationed right now today in our Lancaster office. We have a room full of items that have been donated, and that's for these kids, whether they're refugees, whether they're foster kids, to come in and pick from, whether it's clothing or just toys, things like that. It's amazing the care of what we take of families and children specifically.
So, something topical, and, one thing we never really want to do here on our show is make things political, right? But right here at the forefront right now, as we're talking, we've got Afghanistan, refugees from Afghanistan, families and children. And, as I'm listening to Dawn talk, I'm thinking about the greatness of our resolve as a people here in our nation. We can debate all we want about how a problem comes to exist, but that's not the role of Bethany. As I see it, in spending my time researching before and having you on now as a guest, Bethany responds to the problem and will continue to do so. And that's, your job isn't really to talk about what happens before. Your job is to say, look, we've got children with a note pinned to their coat. That child needs a meal. They need to see a doctor possibly, and they need loving, they need care. And however that child or family arrives, so be it. There's a crisis and you're here to solve it. So can you share topically some of the things that you're doing with the refugees from Afghanistan? Well,
yes and no. Sorry to say that, but yes, we are super involved with the refugees. I mean, you have a lot coming right into Philly. We have an office in Philly. Our offices here are helping families and the kids. We have an office that we have opened up just recently in Reading and in Lancaster that are just for refugees, because there are so many coming through, whatever border it might be. We have a lot of people coming here. So we are helping with clothing, with food, with just necessities, that they need. It really makes you, we have a list on our website of things that some of these folks need, and it kind of humbles you. And you go back to your house, with your air conditioning, and, the dog runs up to you and you have a meal on the table, and it humbles you to what you have, because these people have nothing. They came with nothing other than the clothes on their back. So, Bethany is super involved, whether it is they need a home. We have people that are reaching out with apartments and with housing. We have people reaching out for clothes. We have people reaching out with food. Mission Church does a huge pantry. They're unbelievable with their donation of food. So we are there for these families for anything that they need. We constantly have emails going out to supporters saying, hey, we've got a family, do you have apartment? Do you have a room in your house? we have a lot of people coming forward that just feel so bad for these folks that are displaced that they want to help, whether it's a family or just a child.
And I mean, listen, we talk about Afghanistan because it's topical, it's in the news. But this is, I would imagine you were busy enough as it was if we wind the clock back 6 weeks, 8 weeks, right? You were probably, busy enough. So the need is always there. We always want to talk about how the public can best help. So, aside from money, and one of the things we talk about here is, you can help out any of the charities, I'm sure, that we highlight by reaching out to them through their website. You could reach out to us and say, hey, Jeff and Ben, I'd love to donate time. And that's the thing. It's not always about money. So you shared some other ways that people can help. Let's kind of focus on that for a little bit. Like clothing, toys. What are some great things that people can do there?
We definitely need like toiletry items. I mean, it's look in your house and see what it is that you have. That's what someone needs to start off with. Whether it is clothing, whether it's toiletries. I mean, I went to Costco and I felt so, almost ridiculous because here I am buying all this stuff and I'm thinking, oh my word, I need to buy toothpaste and toothbrushes and toilet paper for these people because they have nothing. I mean, they literally are coming with like a bag and some of them don't even have that. So they need everything that we just keep as a spare on our cupboard, whether it is toilet paper or toothpaste or whatever it might be. So, it is a lot of those basics. I mean, we do have a whole list on our website. And if somebody wants to contact us here at the office, we have a handout that we can give as well. But they need like everything from soup to nuts.
What is the best way for somebody to contact you? Is it through the website or is
they can do it through the website. They can come into our office. We're right here, right off of Oregon Pike. We have offices all over the place. I oversee Lancaster, Reading, Harrisburg, York, State College, and I go down to Martinsburg, West Virginia. So those are just the areas that I cover. But, whoever is watching this from whatever area, there's definitely a Bethany in the area. And all you got to do is reach out and we can certainly guide you to the closest place to come to donate something. We try also to incorporate fun things. Like I know we're going to talk about our golf tournament, but, those funds that are raised through that as well help specifically these families too, so that we can do things for them.
So, it's change of season time. We've talked about children. If people have clothing that their children have outgrown or that they no longer use, is that something that would be useful to you?
Absolutely. I just did that actually with my husband, and my son was just home, and with my clothes, you get rid of the summer stuff that you're not going to wear again. And even my daughter, she's 11, and I made 3 bags of clothes and brought them in. So you have to. I'm personally in the. I used to have a need for a large business wardrobe, not so much anymore. This is how we get down here at Gardner's.
As fancy as you get.
I'm going to go through my closet and make sure I get you some stuff, because hopefully we can bring these folks into our community, set them up long term, and get them some dress slacks, some dress shirt, go for a job interview, so they can be a part of our community completely. And
the people that are at least coming into our office, they want to be productive. They do not want to just be sitting at home watching TV, and watching the Jerry Springer show. They actually want to be out in the community doing things. They are so grateful to have an opportunity. I'm sure that there are other folks who don't care and who are going to make it on their own. But the folks that are coming into our place truly want to be, involved in the community.
Well, that's the promise of our great nation, right? Come here with that ethic, with that resolve to be successful. You're given the opportunity to kind of get your feet under you. There's no shortage of level of success to achieve. So that's great. I hope our listeners can hear that. And I hope you're moved to donate something. As Dawn said, go to your pantry. If there's some canned food that you're just not a fan of and it's not expired and not opened, please donate it. If there's toothpaste on your shelf that hurts your gums, It might not hurt somebody else's gums. Donate that, right? Like that, just those little things. Like every dollar that Bethany doesn't have to spend, it's almost like getting another dollar in. I mean, it really is, because those financial resources just go further.
What if somebody's on the other end of they need services from
Great question.
Bethany Christian Services? What's the best way for them to contact you?
Same way, just call us. We have so many different people working in our agency. I mean, and in every area, they can easily just guide you to that area. Our refugee resettlement office is in downtown Lancaster. So if they just call our main line, we can put them in contact with who they need to talk to, and we're happy to help. And
that phone number, just in case you're listening to the audio only of this, is 717-399-3213. Dawn, is that the best number? Okay, great. Yep, 717-399-3213. So we've talked a lot about how we can help the mission. You've got a golf tournament coming up.
We do. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for a little bit. So how can people get involved? Give us the rundown of events, all the fun things going on.
So we just moved it for the last several years. It's been a fox chase, and we made the decision. We had some changes in our team that was helping with it. So we actually moved it down to Pilgrim Oaks, down in Peach Bottom. And I was just there last weekend. I have to tell you, it is probably one of the most beautiful golf courses I've ever seen. I'm not a golfer. But, being at different events over the last many years of being in business, it is a truly spectacular course. And the owner is just fantastic. He's been great to work with. So, it's on Wednesday, September 22nd. Oh, that's a great picture. They're really just so beautiful. But it's Wednesday, September 22nd, and it is going to start at 11:30 is registration. We have a great box lunch coming from Stolzfus Meats. We're super excited about that. So when people arrive, they'll have that. They can walk around, get situated. 12:30 is our shotgun start. We have, the normal closest to the pin, longest drive, putting contest. We've got lots of prizes we're real excited about. Pro Shop gift cards. We're giving away a grill set, all kinds of stuff. And then afterwards, we're going to have a brief dinner through Psy Catering. We're having brisket sandwiches and pork barbecue. My mouth waters. Psy Catering is like unbelievable. I've been using them for 20 years. So I'm very excited that they've partnered with us. And then we're going to give some giveaways, and you'll hear a little bit about Bethany. So it's going to be a great day.
Dawn, is there anything, our time's kind of wrapping up, is there anything else you'd like to share with listeners of the Lancaster Connects podcast?
Just so that everyone knows, the proceeds from this golf tournament are going to our Safe Families, which is a great program that we oversee. It is for folks who are having some trouble, and it's kind of like people are trained like they would be for foster and adoption. And we have those kids come into those safe families for a temporary time frame. It could be a month, it could be 3 months. And then they go back to the family. So it's going for that and our refugee resettlement. So those are the two big pushes for us right now.
Well, great. And we've got a little donation to help with that.
Thank you.
So Gardeners is happy we're going to donate $500 to the event. Please don't go and put a sign up. Don't print a sign. This is enough. I would much rather see Bethany save whatever that cost is. Just keep that cost. We're happy to donate this at 100%. And we would love to see that help that part of the program out for sure. That's great. So
thank you very much. We really appreciate
you're welcome. That. You're welcome. So we'll get that out in the mail today.
Awesome.
And get that on the way to you
with the book.
With a copy of the book, no less. How about that?
Awesome.
Save a stamp there. I like that. That's resourceful thinking, sir. Yep. So we'll get that out. And Dawn, it's been a pleasure.
Same here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I think a great start to the live Lancaster Connects. This has been a lot of fun. I love the dynamic of action in the background. Dawn, you were a pleasure to have.
Thank you.
Folks, if you want to watch the show, like we said, you can watch that on Facebook, on YouTube, on both Lancaster Connects and Gardener's channel. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can learn about all things on the show at lancasterconnects.com. If you want to be a guest specifically, go to link. There we go. See, now we're mind melding, Chris. See, we're getting it. It only took not even a full episode to get it.
We'll give them an episode 2.
That's right. lancasterconnects.com/guest. So we're really easy here, folks. If you want to be on our show, here's the criteria. You need to be, you got to be doing local work as a business or as a charity. If you can really kind of focus on a local connection, that's great. If you're a local business, kind of out Amazoning Amazon, you fancy yourself David versus Goliath, that's a great guest. But most importantly, if you're a business specifically, we want to see how you're helping to give back to the community. All right. So like Gardeners, like Lancaster Connect, this is our give back to the platform, or our platform to give back. We believe supporting the community that supports us is important. So we're investing in this community podcast to highlight folks like Dawn and Bethany, highlight Linda Charles that helped the fight in the past, and all the other great charities we've had. Businesses that might be starting, we want to highlight you if you have an endeavor to give back to the community as well. So that's really the criteria. Reach out to us. It's pretty simple. lancasterconnects.com/guest. And one last call out for Bethany Christian Services in Lancaster. Dawn, thank you so much. If you need to get in touch with them, you can call them at 717-399-3213 or click the links here with the show in this post. I think that's a wrap. Dawn, what do you think?
I think you did a great job.
Good. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Producer Chris and team, thanks, man. This is awesome. Love this new format. Folks, tune in next Monday, 2:00. We'll be live again. Thanks for watching.